Ensolanka presents.
Imagine finishing your workday by closing your laptop to the sound of the Indian Ocean. This outcome is driving how remote professionals choose to live. As of 2026, Sri Lanka has made that setup a legal reality. With the rollout of a one-year renewable Digital Nomad Visa and expanded resident programs, the doors are officially open for long-term relocation. This is geographic arbitrage in action. It is the strategy of earning in a strong currency while relocating to a developing economy, allowing you to secure a premium, high-comfort lifestyle for a fraction of what you would spend in London or New York. This strategy has a 50-year track record. In 1956, inventor Arthur C. Clarke arrived in Sri Lanka for a short trip, but stayed a half-century. Clarke rejected the standard Expat label. He called himself a resident guest. He integrated deeply, wearing a traditional sarong and building satellite infrastructure alongside local engineers, choosing connection over isolation. But here is the reality check for anyone trying to replicate his success today. While the financial upside is undeniable, the actual friction of moving your life to a developing island involves systemic hurdles that can derail a relocation in the first week. You are suddenly navigating complex foreign bureaucracy, trying to sign a lease without falling into overpriced tourist traps, and facing the risk of deep social isolation in your first few months. Achieving this level of arbitrage involves a specific trade-off. To manage the risks of an international move, you exchange a financial premium for a closed-loop transition service like Ensolanka, which handles the logistical burden so you can focus on the lifestyle. This flowchart shows Ensolanka's 3 pillars of integration. It is a structured framework designed to address those specific relocation risks. The first pathway is the physical pillar, focusing entirely on sourcing and verifying a permanent, high-quality home for you before your plane takes off. The trade-off here is straightforward. You get immediate, premium housing safety upon arrival, but you surrender the ability to manually hunt for extreme budget deals on the ground yourself. Once the physical space is secured, the process shifts to the emotional pillar, designed to prevent the intense culture shock and isolation that ruins most relocations. That starts the moment you land at Bandaranaike International Airport. You bypass chaotic taxi haggling completely, met instead by a curated leadership team ready to take over the logistics. The emotional pillar is designed to facilitate authentic, respectful local connections, embedding you in a community rather than isolating you in a hotel lobby. To make this work, you have to commit to Clarke's resident guest philosophy. You are trading the familiar, insular comfort of an expat bubble for true cultural integration. By combining these 2 pillars, you eliminate the highest stress factors of your first 30 days abroad. You exchange a financial premium for immediate physical safety and social grounding. That leaves the central operational pillar. The daily friction changes depending on which profile fits you. For a digital nomad, the focus is connectivity. The 2026 infrastructure upgrades, specifically 5G and fiber optics, cater directly to this need. This enables the remote work appeal, executing a high-tech workflow while living steps away from world-class surf coastlines. But here is the operational trade-off. You still have to manage the daily grind of aligning your schedule with divergent global time zones, all while physically isolated in the middle of the Indian Ocean. The second profile requires a totally different approach. For the high-value retiree, the priority shifts away from internet speeds and toward physical regeneration and long-term care. Retirees are drawn to the island's top-tier private healthcare, the availability of dedicated domestic assistance, and the cooler, misty regions of the tea country. Maintaining this exact level of daily, personalized domestic care and medical attention would be financially catastrophic in cities like London or New York. Achieving this luxury, however, requires a strict trade-off. You must rely entirely on Sri Lanka's localized, private infrastructure, navigated through vetted aides. You have to fully surrender the familiarity and guaranteed public safety nets of your home country's medical and social systems. Long-term success on the island depends entirely on correctly aligning your specific career or retirement needs with the hard realities of the local infrastructure. This chart breaks down the final decision. On the x-axis, we have your need for budget control. On the y-axis, your need for seamless integration. Let's see if your profile matches the Ensolanka transition model. The perfect candidate for the top right quadrant, requiring high integration and low budget control, is the high-income remote worker. If you are earning a strong salary, you value uninterrupted productivity and time far more than nickel-and-diming daily travel expenses. A premium, closed-loop service is essential to keep you focused. The high-value retiree also fits perfectly into this top right quadrant. For retirees, the paramount concern is guaranteed physical comfort, security, and immediate healthcare access. Those guarantees justify the cost of a curated ecosystem. But if your profile lands in the bottom left, you need to avoid this path. This is the budget backpacker. A premium curation service will significantly exceed a strict travel budget. Plus, this demographic actively prefers the raw friction and unpredictability of doing it all themselves. The final profile that should stay home is the strict Western metropolis loyalist. If you require the absolute, sterile predictability of a Western city, Arthur C. Clarke's resident guest mindset will not feel like a liberating arbitrage. It will just feel like an exhausting downgrade. Sri Lanka in 2026 offers a distinct window for geographic arbitrage. Navigating that transition through a curated service like Ensolanka shifts the focus from managing logistics to immediate productivity, allowing you to arrive, open your laptop, and begin living.